They're, got it. They came up with their project. There were 4 students, as I said, and 1 professor. At the meeting on December 7th, there were, let's see, 6, I, together with Teresa, Ed, Mary Rich, Jean-Francois, and Lance were there for the presentation, which took about a half hour.
Yeah.
So we're going to go, so you see the names of the, Grace Miller was like the lead person in it, and these other students were the team that put together this presentation for us. So we'll go through it, and then, as I said, we'll hold the questions at the end. Anything that you want to ask, or you could ask. Okay, next. Jean-Francois.
I'm trying.
Just watching the Bills game.
Oh, there are the students. There you see the students, and this is Grace. So they came in the front of this room, and we were all sitting back there, and they gave a very professional presentation. Next. This is what they saw as our needs. We want to, this is true, spread the word. How do we get the word out? We're targeting this population. We want to create and communicate an identity. That means we need a logo, some symbol, something that would represent us. And in some way, we would like to get the younger demographic involved. Next. So they did a little bit of research, and here's what they found as pertinent demographics. Now, if you look at this, they don't have 55 and older, but they start with 65, probably in the Medicare. But if you look at that, and 20%, that means that the market for the older folks in this community is around 3,000 people. Okay. And this is just some other things they found. Interesting. Next. So they want to create a permanent public presence for our organization in Cat County. I don't know where they got all these graphics, but they're nice.
Mm-hmm.
Next. Next. Okay, created identity. Continue, Jean-Francois. Next. Now this is, okay. So they think that it's important to create a mnemonic, informal, unofficial shorthand name instead of saying Enchanted Mountains Village or Village or EMV, something that's easy to remember, easy to pronounce, and visually and verbally unique. So they came up with one. Next. MV. Can you see this is a lowercase I over here? So you say, oh, did you go to any recent MV events or MV this? It is. It's easy to say. It's easier even than saying EMV. So this is what they're suggesting. Next. And actually, I've been using it.
Saw that.
Right.
They're gonna get touched.
Wherever they have it, of course, they want to incorporate also the full name. And this is some of the tactics that they've been working on. So they want a logo. And let's see if they have the logo. Next. Let's see if the logo is next. Here it is. Now this is it. I think personally it's great. You get buildings, you get the mountains, you get the pneumatic device, and you get the name of the village. This kind of a logo can be on our letterhead, on our business cards, on our on t-shirts, on anything that we want to use to promote it. I don't know which one of them did it, but I think personally, I think it's very good. Very simple, direct, but it gets the point across. Okay, next. Now, they suggest try to increase participating membership to 100 by the end of this year. Personally, I don't necessarily think we have to go quite that fast, but since we are already in 2024, but we do want to increase membership.
Mm.
Next. So this is what they suggest as a strategy. Create communications channels among all members that can be easily learned and used by the community. They suggest sending out a monthly newsletter. Well, I guess we could do that. We could beef up what I do, my newsy notes, which is basically what I do at least once a month. Now, the Facebook page, they suggest promoting it to stimulate participation and dialogue. It has very, very, very little movement now. I think at the beginning there was something, I think, Linda, you've put on, but it just isn't going.
We've gotten more followers, though, oddly enough.
But if we have followers and we don't put new things on it, I mean, that's right. We'd have to
Yeah.
do that. One of the questions, it was a year or even maybe 2 years ago, we asked our members, how do you like to get information? What is your preferred method? The biggest preference was by email. Some people said Facebook, some said text messages, but the biggest so far was email. But perhaps if we have a good marketing committee, we can do more to encourage and fix up and beef up the Facebook page, and that could help. And I don't know how, they said create a group to have members engaged in online conversations. We don't have that. We would have to see how that can actually happen. Now, this presentation that they're giving is their presentation. It does not mean they're doing it. I'm going to do this. This is what is a suggested work for us. So if we want to really work on the Facebook, then we have to figure out how to get more people involved, what to do with it better than simply posting items. They talked about group chats, but we'd have to find out how that can be done. Next. All right, so they looked at our brochure. They think we need a new brochure. We do. It's outdated. That's true. And we need to update the information. It's got too much information probably packed into it. They suggest that also we have a flyer, a one-page flyer, and you'll see the examples of what they give. Now, the examples they give really doesn't mean that we have to do that. This is their suggestions. So, and they suggest that we go to the golf courses, grocery stores, all of these places. So let's see what they did with it. Next. Okay, this is part of their brochure.
Sorry.
All right, of course, this is a trifold. So you'll see this is on like the front. Personally, I think if we had a logo, we would put the logo there. And then they have basic information. And then, of course, they have it. Can you stop, Jean-François? I'll hold it. So they have some wrong information. They have the old information on the membership fees. This is all, again, suggestions, some of which we can take. But this is the basic membership form with the basic information of where they could contact us. And this would be like I don't have a brochure right on hand, but remember the first page of our old brochure?
Mhm.
So they're suggesting this. Next. This is the inside page. I think this is pretty good. They learn more, the need, the mission, the benefits, who we are, choose the life you want to live with some photos that they took from what we have, of course.
Mhm.
Remember, this was so the basic information, but it isn't too
Yes.
compressed, which is good. Next. This is a flyer. Just a one pager, just a flat flyer. Oop. Okay. So it gives the logo, important things of volunteer, urban, live vibrant, choose the life you want, and contact us as a one page just to get people interested. And again, they took the snapshots of some of the photos that we have. Again, repeating the basic information. Next. Now this is interesting.
Something on here that would be for
Pardon?
me. I'm afraid to mess with it.
Oh, now this is interesting because these are all young kids, these are all people, I guess they're probably 20, 21, they're seniors. So this is their last year.
Okay.
So they think this, as we did, is very important. They agree that it's not an easy thing to do, but they have some suggestions. Next. What we would want, what we need them to do, duties, where to go, SBU and Jamestown Community College. So that's the community college in St. Bonaventure University. And they suggest the high school going to the high school guidance counselors and clubs in schools. But first to say, what do we need them to do? And I think they give us some suggestions. Next, I think that's it. Examples. This is true, technology. I mean, right now, Jean-Francois is probably the one who's done most of that.
Mhm.
Yard work. As we get older, I mean, I know some of us volunteer to do like garden boxes and all, but actually digging and things like that, you might need younger folks if we need to lift and move things, or shoveling. Or we could put other things down. I also thought what is not in there is what we should do is what we could offer younger people. What is it we could offer younger people? One of the things that came to my mind, to tell you the truth, was teach them how to cook. I mean, really, it's a survival skill. But this is clever, and this is some possibilities that are doable. Okay, next. They list all the high schools in the county. I didn't even realize there were so many, to tell you the truth. Archbishop Walsh has a new name, I believe. Okay, next. And then they give us contacts and where to go, what organizations like at Bonaventure, where to go at Bonaventure University, who to contact, and at the community college. So they're laying out information for us that is, I think, very, very helpful. Okay, next. So they suggest that we create a new mnemonic shorthand name. This is not formal, but something that we can use. Agree on the, create the logo. I think their logo that they suggest is very good. And better communication channels among members. Right now, most of it is done through, I mean, back and forth is through emails. And people replying to all or replying to some. And again, it's important that we have people that know how to set up different channels. Okay. They mentioned that both in high schools, among seniors in many of the schools and in the colleges, the students need to do volunteer work. So if we can go into the schools, suggest what we need, talk about our village, and we can get some members interested, we hope. Okay, Jean-Francois, is that the last one or is there another one? Okay, this is it. All right, so this actually is a summary of their presentation. We have actually both this, what we showed you, as well as a PDF of the writing, a Word document, or I mean, well, a PDF document of their presentation. Again, it's a it's suggestion, and it doesn't mean, and it's offered to us. I personally am very appreciative. I think they have gone quite a distance. So, first of all, any comments?
Tell you, it's a lot better than I was expecting, a lot better. And looking at the logo in comparison to all the ones we looked at before, huge improvement over everything before. One other comment, if you contact JCC and if you get to want to do that, I would be happy to do that because I worked there for years, but don't go through the president or Marilyn Zagora. They really have very little to do with the Cattaraugus campus. Paula Snyder is the person who's the director of the Cattaraugus campus. And
Okay,
she would
well,
be
but
the
it's
one.
great you would do it.
Yeah, I'd be happy to contact them. Well, I was the head of the human services program there for years, and we placed students out in human service agencies for internships. So, you know, if we come up with specific tasks, because they have to do 10 hours a week, you know, if we come up with some very specific tasks or something, that would be a possibility for them to tap into that for their human services degree.
A comment that I would make, Athena, about the Facebook page, because I've been involved in some of that and other organizations, that if we go that route, when it sounds like, because I'm new to the organization, it sounds like you already have a Facebook page.
We do.
It really needs to be managed and managed well, because we were told at one point, the worst thing you can do is put out a Facebook page and then do nothing with it. So that if someone clicks on it, they'll say, well, what kind of an organization is this? They don't even keep up with their Facebook page. So that's just, I'm not saying we shouldn't go that route, but if we do, it has to be managed well.
We had a private Facebook group initially, and then decided that we would probably, we should, if we wanted to use it to get more people knowing about us, that we should instead just make it public and not have it as a private group. So if we, and I do try to put things up.
Yeah,
I've
you
put a
do.
couple things up recently, but I've strongly encouraged our board members, our other members, to put stuff up, but it doesn't seem to happen. And I think people are just nervous to do it or forget to do it or whatever. But yeah, I agree with you. As far as if we are going to turn it into a group where people talk, then that's got to be private. So it would mean having two, a public facing one and then a private one where people are free to make comments, or anybody can post.
Linda, right now, can any member post on Facebook, or does it have to go, like, for example, through you?
No,
No,
anyone
it's
can.
open. Anyone can post. Okay.
I can't find it on Facebook. I can't find that on Facebook, Enchanted Mountain Village.
It's Enchanted Mountains
With the
Village.
S.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yeah, I had a friend that I was trying to explain that to, and he in New Jersey, because they were looking for something like that, and he kept putting in the wrong thing.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll see if I can get it
Actually,
now.
in the slides from the students, here and there are some
Oh, okay.
typos.
Yeah.
But, some, they forget to put the N in mountains. Some people forget to put
Oh,
S. It's like there is only one mountain. I tell you, my friend from the Alps said that this is not a mountain, if you want to call it that way. But that's okay. We have to work on that. Going back to what Marge was saying, it may be a good idea that somebody would be in charge, responsible for the Facebook page, and not necessarily post 20 million things, but go after people and say, hey, don't you have anything to say? Don't you have anything to put there? Athena and I, and
Oh, there we are.
we know that if we want
What'd you do?
participation, we have
I
to.
just turned this on. I didn't realize, but I have it twisted now.
Oh, I just love your yoga posture, Teresa.
Hi.
I don't think I can take it.
Well, now you can't see Connie, but she's here also.
Hi, Connie.
But you're sideways.
Oh, there's Connie.
I
It is
think I'm
Connie.
getting a stiff neck.
How do you think I did that?
The only other thing I would say about the logo, I think it's very good. It speaks to it. But Athena, you were pronouncing it envy,
envy.
MV. Well, if I looked at that without hearing what you said, I would see MVI because of the I.
Right.
Rather than MV to me would be like a E. I don't know. Maybe others, it didn't hit others apparently.
I think it's a matter of usage, though. That's right. But I think it's when you hear it, it's a matter of using it. I've been saying it a lot. It just comes very natural.
The other way to deal with the same thing is to do capital letter EM dash capital letter V, and then that also is MV. But
It'd be sideways.
Yeah, but yeah, their point was just basically something that's
Right.
easy to say.
easy to say, and
Right.
Yeah.
Which I think.
I turned it off. Then I have the red dot.
What are you drinking there?
Hello again.
Be too careful.
Is that your cell phone?
We're trying to get this resolved. I apologize for this mess.
We're poking at buttons and it's not working too well.
But basically what we need, we need to get some people that are willing to do some of the jobs, going out to places,
Yeah.
working on what's possible for young people to do, etc. So we do need within this next few months to really get a marketing committee. We just don't
Definitely.
have it. We just don't
Right,
have it.
definitely.
We do have people that, Kim and Mike Blumenthal do our web. Mike has recently been the one that is getting the little biographies ready with pictures of those members of ours who have volunteered their stories, and that'll be posted monthly on the web. Even some people had a problem with finding the website, but that is basically is because they said mountain rather than mountains, and they couldn't get it. So it's
There is another organization that is, I don't know if it's I think it's a skiing thing. That's the one that my friend kept getting, because when he was looking, it's Enchanted Mountain Ski Club, and he kept getting that instead of getting the Enchanted Mountains Village. He
Mm.
said, but nothing else comes up about Enchanted. And I said, yeah, you're doing something wrong here. Let's figure it out. And we finally did, is he was just doing Enchanted Mountain and Village, and then came up as Enchanted Mountain Ski Club.
yeah.
Now,
So
I think we will have to go back to all those who are SVP to be part of this and are not showing up probably because of the bills. Okay. But we have to take them by their word. Are they really interested in contributing?
and what we can do too, this presentation can be attached to in the web to the members only.
That's right.
Right.
We can do that. So you could go through it slowly by yourself. We have as I said, another PDF that you could read all of that, and that's for all members. And a small group of us, but now Marge, you know Marge? This is Marge White. Hey Marge, why don't you say a little bit about yourself?
Oh, about me? Well,
Yeah.
as you can see on my name, I belong to several Zoom groups, and one is the Third Act Ohio, and they always want you to identify where you're from, what city in Ohio. So that's why you see Cleveland after my name. But I've known Athena and Jean-Francois for a number of years. Way back in the day, Athena and I lived together in the Bronx in the 60s and the 70s. And so recently I just finished a responsibility, a 10-year responsibility that I had. And so I was branching out and saying, now, what can I get involved with? And so I reached out to Athena, and have visited, of course, with them. And I posed the question, would Enchanted Mountains Village ever be interested in having like long distance partners or members, because I live in Cleveland and I don't see myself moving to Allegheny, New York. But how might I be a part of this, contribute some services and skills that I have? And so I think that's going to be a question if you go public on the Facebook page that may also come, is that others see it and are attracted, maybe, who live nearby, but not, because I'm like 2.5 hours from Allegheny. So, but want to be involved somehow. So apparently, not apparently, I do know that Athena posed it to the board, and
That's left.
everybody was in agreement to it. And so that's why you see me. And so one of the tasks that I was asked to do was to reach out to people, which I've done, 70 some people, with a list of different volunteer opportunities that you might be willing to take on. And I've gotten some good responses. Today, I just finished up recontacting people I hadn't heard from.
Me.
I don't know, that's right. And now you should see my inbox. I'm getting all types of responses from people on what they can do and what they're able to do. So right now, that's kind of a role I kind of carved out for myself.
And it's much appreciated, Marge.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. And we do have, in the first year, we had a lot of Zoom activities. That has decreased considerably. But I also feel that we could, as we grow and get more people involved, do more Zoom activities. This morning at our women's group, we had a lady participating from California. And she's been participating fairly regularly this year from California. And so you certainly, there are those kinds of things in our activities. But for those of us who can only do Zoom, we could use more of them, but then we have to have people willing to do them and, do the content for them.
Well, I
it,
signed up to be a part of the book discussion.
Good.
So
Good.
the monthly book discussion, so.
That's great. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and when you're here, you can participate in whatever's going on here.
That's right.
In physically, but yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. There's no reason not to. What you won't be getting are somebody won't be shoveling your walk or planting your flowers or helping you with your computer. Well, maybe they could do that long distance. I don't know.
Recording it.
Computer, yes, long
Yeah.
distance.
By the way, is there a deadline for when you have to sign up for that book club? Because I meant to do that and I,
Yes.
I'm not sure Diane is the one, Diane or, I
Darlene,
forget who's- who is?
Yes, it's
Darlene.
RS, save the date. Wait a minute. Wait.
you're so
um,
No,
organized.
she doesn't have a book. She doesn't
No.
have it.
she
That's,
doesn't have a deadline.
she doesn't have a
Isn't there-
deadline.
But the first meeting is next Tuesday, I mean, a week from tomorrow, I believe,
On the 23rd.
23rd.
23rd
23rd, whatever date that is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at 6:45. And
Right.
Darlene,
Contact her.
Darlene Getzman is going to moderate it. She's in
Yeah.
charge. So, or facilitate.
well,
We have-
Teresa
you-
has righted herself now,
Pardon?
so
Yes.
Teresa and Connie.
If I keep pressing buttons, I usually can figure it out.
She's stuck with it. She's good that way.
Yeah, that's good. So that is a summary of what they did, the students did. I was really appreciative. I think they did a very good job.
I do
And
too.
commended them and their professor. That was really great. That's another thing, when you get people to different students and other people to volunteer, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work so
doesn't.
well.
But this time it did.
This
I
time
mean,
it did,
I
right.
was
right.
involved with
Oh, they have the
a
ball?
group from their marketing that it did not work out well, but this one is, it's
Yes.
good. It's
Oh, yeah.
really solid. It's simple, but it's solid.
Right, right.
See you next
So-
week.
3 were from Rochester and 1 from New Jersey,
Oh, you mean of the students,
of the students, yes.
right, right.
Just one before I died. Did you see that sign? One Super Bowl, one Super Bowl. That's how I feel. Going
So
on
is
for
there,
50
so
years.
their presentation to us was about the same length of time as this. Within a half hour,
Mhm.
they presented it. This is what we see, this is what we offer you. Here are some tools that you can use, and so now we have to go back to the, I have to find people who will be willing to be part of a marketing committee. I sort of jotted some names down, but some of us are already very involved. Actually, all of us.
We
Well,
have
Marge,
two
you're
new-
not a part of a committee, but let's put you in. You're
He's
you're very
involved.
involved. You're very
Yeah,
involved.
lots of people.
You're very involved. We have, so it's getting some of the other members that are not and seeing that have some interest in it. In going
Well,
out and speaking and promotion. Yes?
we have two new board members coming on this month who are going to need committee assignments. And
Mm.
since we have board members already assigned to other committees, I think that's one of the things that Ed's gonna be trying to convince them, talk it up a bit, because it's a requirement. If you're our director, you've got to have a committee assignment. And so they're coming in brand new, and it would be really, really nice for them to have access for this to see. And that'll be part of what Ed is going to be talking about at the next board meeting.
Right, right. Well,
And
of the two members, Linda, one already is a member of a committee.
She's on program
Yeah,
committee? Yeah, okay.
unless she
All
wants
right.
to switch, but and the other one is Jack Hart.
Mhm.
He's a full-time lawyer. So he has I don't know how much time, but there are certain things that he could, I would direct him toward finance myself, but
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
we already have 3 people, 3 directors on the finance committee, so we would have to get somebody to swap out in order, because we're kind of full up on that. We have mostly directors on the finance committee and only 1 non-director. So,
yeah. Anyway,
Why-
that's a
why
board discussion and we can do that.
Right.
But again,
Didn't
that's
work.
it. I think I like the logo. I think it's simple
yes,
and
much
meaningful.
much better
really
than what
like
we
it.
had before.
I like their one pager, their flyer. I think it
Did
is,
get one, didn't he?
besides doing brochures,
so.
just to have a one pager that you can give out.
Mhm.
I think our brochure does need to be modified.
Yeah.
But that will take some people to do that. I like some of their ideas, but not all of them. And again, to do things like brochures and all, you need people that have certain talents in that area.
Yes.
So anyway, that's it, my friends.
Yep.
You got a
I
better
think-
idea?
Hey,
I
thank
think-
you very much.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
I
doing
think-
it.
If you could, since it's been videoed, if at some point we could send a link of that out to all of our members who were otherwise occupied with the Bills game, that it might be very instructive to them to
Mhm.
see, you know,
Right,
that,
right.
After they recovered from the game, yes.
well, it's not going to take a whole lot of recovery because they're winning. So
Yes, that's right. They are.
they
I
won't,
was watching it, yes.
yes,
I haven't heard any
hopefully-
swearing.
right. Hopefully there'll be no sobbing or swearing afterwards.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
thank you for participating, and Jean-François, thanks for manipulating this thing.
Yes, thank
Sure.
you
Thank
both
you.
so
Thank you.
much for your
It was
effort.
real helpful. Thanks a lot.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
Nice to meet you, Marge.
Nice to see you in
Yeah.
Nice
person,
to meet all
Marge.
of
We
you,
look forward to
yes.
seeing you here sometime too.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Definitely.
Okay, Jean-François, I
Okay.
think you can stop the meeting now. That's
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Okay,
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.